Hello, Sailor Moon enthusiasts and Moonies all over the world. This is Silver Millennials, a fun, friendly podcast where not only millennials, but fans of all ages can talk the latest news, updates, event recaps, discussions, and take walks down memory lane on our favorite 90s anime, Sailor Moon. We are 5 friends who were drawn together by a mutual love for Sailor Moon. And each episode, we want you to join us where we can talk about Sailor Moon and just have a good time. So without any further ado, let's introduce the team. Sin, how about you start?
Thank you, Luke. Hi, guys. My name is Sin, C-Y-N, and I am a Mexican-American graphic designer by daylight, and I am a Sailor Moon blogger and collector by moonlight. I run the Twitter account Sailor Moon Obsession and also the Instagram account Sailor Moon Obsession. I used to host another podcast called Mooney Tunes, but that was many moons ago. So a little bit of background about me. I have been a Moonie about 25 years. I've been a Sailor Moon toy collector for about 20 years. I started when I discovered eBay. I have lived in Mexico, in the United States, and even a little bit in Japan. So I have a very special place in my heart for any version of Sailor Moon, but especially the Mexican version. I am a very sane cat lady. I'm a passionate globetrotter. I dabble a bit in art, and I am fluent in English, Spanish, and I can make you think I know Japanese because of my mad Sailor Moon song lip syncs, but I just speak very little. I think that's enough about me. So now I'm going to hand over the mic to my friend Lux.
Hey y'all, it's your merboy Lux here. I hail from the city of Houston, Texas. I've loved Sailor Moon since 1996, back when she was still known in the US as Serena. You can catch me on Instagram at Domino Coppola or head on over to Twitter. My handle is at LuxWas14. To tell you a little bit about myself, I have a major love for fictional redheaded characters like Ariel, Jean Grey, Jessica Rabbit, and Daphne from Scooby-Doo. I have a major love for comics, white baby seals, so cute, and everything that is the wonderful world of Sofia Coppola. That's enough about me. Let's go ahead and hand the mic on over to ＯCHI. Take it, OCHI.
Thanks, Lux. So I'm ＯCHI, and I'm known by a lot of you out there as Ochiba Wolf for my Sailor Moon merchandise updates through my social media accounts. But I'll tell you a little bit about my Sailor Moon resume. So I discovered Sailor Moon through Cartoon Network's Toonami segment. Do you guys remember that? Oh my god, does that take me back? So the 90s anime was my first introduction to Sailor Moon. And then I later read the manga and also discovered the subtitled VHS tapes from a store back then called Suncoast. And that basically changed my world. I was able to dive right into the Japanese culture of Sailor Moon after that. And this was also the starting point of my dislike for Deke. So I am your resident Deke hater right here. I felt so betrayed and lied to after discovering the real version of Sailor Moon. Fast forward to 2007, that's when I began to collect Sailor Moon merchandise. And through collecting is where I met Sin and TARA, my 2 best girlfriends, along with so many other friends. And I am almost 32 years old today. Sailor Moon is still a very big part of my day-to-day life. In the last few years, I've been traveling to Sailor Moon events with this wonderful group, mostly to Japan, and we've seen the musicals together. We enjoyed the Sailor Moon Universal Studio events together, and hopefully more are coming. I miss Japan so much. Traveling in general, I miss. A little bit of personal tidbits about me. I am happily married. I live on 2 acres in Tornado Alley, and I raise chickens. My real name is Brooke, but I prefer to be called ＯCHII online, but I thought I should mention it right now just in case somebody in this podcast does refer to me as Brooke, so you guys will know that they're talking about me. But that's it for me. I'll hand this off to Tara now. Take it away, Tara.
Thank you, ＯCHII. Hi guys, this is Tara. I started watching Sailor Moon probably around 96, 97. A big part of my life growing up. Really helped me get through those tough days. I got to experience a world that I would rather have been in. But I am super excited for this podcast. I get to do it with my best friends, and I love going to Japan with them and anywhere with them. It's so fun. I cannot wait to talk to all of you about Sailor Moon and all of our experiences and everything that we're looking forward to, and talking to all of you. I'm going to send it on over to Luke. Luke?
Thank you, Tara. My name's Luke, and I've been a hardcore Sailor Moon fan since 1995. So I started when it first started airing in the US. And I followed Sailor Moon through all of its different journeys. So whether it was reading the manga when it came out in Mixzine, or whether it was watching PGSM when that first came out. And then I followed Crystal as well as the musicals. So musicals have been a huge part of my life. And ever since the revival, I've been going every year to Japan to check out the musicals. I used to be a really big collector, but I kind of stopped collecting. My main focus right now is really just having really great experiences, being able to hang out with my friends and have a really good time, and enjoy Sailor Moon. So we're so happy to have you guys here joining us for this podcast. This is our first episode, so welcome, and we hope that you come back and visit us regularly. But we're going to go ahead and get started with our Sailor Moon Roundtable recap. And we're going to go through some of the hot Sailor Moon items that have happened in recent news. And so let's go ahead and get started. So first topic of discussion is Prism on Ice. Who wants to take a stab at that one?
I do.
Yeah, go for it, Sin.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So, the group here, we call each other the Moon Fam. And the Moon Fam has actually traveled to Japan all together. And it's like a huge passion of ours, obviously. And last year we went to Usagi's birthday, right? You guys, we were all there?
That was
For the first time.
Not all of us.
Sorry, Lux.
Almost all of us.
Sorry.
We missed you.
We missed
Totally.
you. Yeah, but it was really exciting. We've never been to an Usagi birthday. Well, the girls, ＯCHII and Tara and I, we'd never been to an Usagi birthday. And
First time.
yeah, you've been to other birthdays, right, Luke?
I know that was my first birthday event.
Oh, okay, cool. So it was really fun. They had a few events going on. Somebody, what's her name? Akiko Kosaka was playing a live version of a few Sailor Moon songs and such and such. Anyway, this is where they announced Prism on Ice for the first time. But it was in Usagi's birthday, so July of 2019. Wait, June.
June.
Is it June or July? June.
June.
Yeah, sorry.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, sorry. All right, so June of 2019, that's when we first heard of it. So I think a lot of our reactions was, okay, whatever, a nice show. I mean, I don't think a lot of people were that interested. I didn't hear a lot.
Because they didn't have any visuals at the time, I don't think, right?
Yeah,
Right,
there wasn't
yeah.
anything.
So we didn't really know what to, expect. We were like, what? An ice show?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it seemed kind of random, and I'll be honest, I felt a little stab of jealousy because the main skater, I don't want to butcher her name, but Eugenia Medvedeva, well, I'll look that up. But she is obviously a huge Moonie, and Naoko chose her to star in the show. So I guess I was a little jealous about that. But
Naoko's a big fan of hers, right?
Yes. They've met before, and there's a picture around the internet where Naoko handed her a drawing that she did, and
lucky girl.
I know.
What?
I hope she got that professionally framed.
She better have.
I think it came framed. Yeah, it's awesome.
But anyway, so at the time I was like, well, I don't care, whatever. But we finally got a confirmation of the dates. They said it would be June 5th to the 7th of 2020. But obviously we have a situation going on where they had to change them from June 5th to the 4th, and then the 6th to the 5th, and then the 7th to the 6th of 2021. So alongside these dates, they also showed a visual, and I think she looks spectacular. I loved the Seider Fuku, and as soon as I saw that promo, I was like, I want to see this. This is a unique thing. This is maybe a once in a lifetime thing, and I was sold completely. So, like, did you guys like the visuals? Were you into it? I know.
Loved it.
Oh my god. I'm jealous I wasn't born a girl and talented at ice skating, because I want to put on that costume and be out there doing that, because it's so
She looks
beautiful.
amazing.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I saw it, I was so excited about it. I was like, I have to go to this.
Yeah.
Like, tickets, I know that they announced that they were going to be doing a special pre-sale through the fan club. And so I got right on that. As you guys know, tickets can be a little bit tricky to get in Japan, but luckily I have a couple hookups there, so I was able to get tickets.
Yeah.
But the bummer is once the show got delayed, then our tickets are still good. So that's great. We can continue, using the tickets that were previously issued, and those are just going to be deferred to next year. Or if you wanted a refund, you could apply for a refund. So that was good, but little disappointing we won't get to see it this year. But I think that kind of with what's going on, we all agree that it's
Yeah,
and actually, I'm actually pretty excited that it did get delayed. I mean,
me too.
Not thrilled about the COVID-19 or anything, but we were kind of put at odds of what events we were going to be able to go to this year. So I know Ochi and I and Lux, we weren't going to be able to make it this year. So now that it's been postponed, we're kind of like on the other side of like,
Yeah.
we're like, yay, I think we get to go now.
It's what?
So-
It's our silver lining. I mean, that's not bad to say.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, yeah.
Moon fam reunited.
cool. So we talked about Prism on Ice. What do you guys think about the movie? Let's talk a little bit about this Eternal movie. It's coming up, but is it coming up? I don't know.
Yeah, it could be postponed too. I mean, with the way things are going.
Good. They need to take some time and fix some of these mistakes we've already been seeing. So,
Didn't they already have time to do that though?
right? How long has it been since Sailor Moon Crystal season 3?
Oh my gosh, like 2016 or
Yeah,
15?
it's been such a long time.
Yeah, so they had plenty of time. There's really no excuses for this not to be epic.
So at the event that Sen mentioned, at the Usagi birthday party event, was when we got our first glimpse of the Sailor Moon Eternal movie. They showed the key art for it, and then they shortly after announced the dates. And so we're looking at, for the first movie, September 11th is the date. But what do you guys think? I mean, we've had a few leaks. Anybody want to talk about the leaks?
Well, before the leaks, though, we did have visuals, like confirmed character designs. But that's the only thing they showed us for the longest time. Like since Usagi's birthday, we'd had absolutely no updates.
Yeah.
And then randomly we got that leaked trailer, and I'm sorry, we're living in a world where Your Name exists, and that's what we're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and also, why did they use the 90s intro? What was up with that? That's what a lot of people
so
thought it
weird.
was fake.
Yeah, I know. That's what made me think it was fake.
It was 10 seconds. We got a 30-second clip, and 10 seconds of it was recapped like footage that they did like a little filter on. Okay.
Yeah, and no reference at all to season 3 Sailor Moon Crystal. Like, why did they choose the 90s anime for this? Are they making them two separate things now?
Yeah, and why was it S? Wasn't it S? It was S.
Yes, that's the intro for S.
Yeah, and this is
Yes.
Super S. Supers.
This leak happened probably around January, I'm going to say.
It was earlier this year, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they not only did we have the leak for footage, but also some of the characters, like, or was it directly from the trailer? It was from the trailer, right? Where we see the different height with Pegasus, Usagi, and Chibiusa.
Yeah, it was actually
Yes.
Yeah.
His little pony now.
He's a cult.
Little Pegasus.
Listen, I think everybody is very excited about the movie, but
Oh, for sure.
honestly, since most of us are general fans of anime, we know the quality this movie could have.
Yeah.
I personally, as you guys here in the group know, I personally am a huge fan of the Evangelion movies, and they've done amazing. The quality and the animation is jaw-dropping. I expected nothing less from Sailor Moon, especially since they hired a senior animation director, or no, wait, she's a character designer, Kazuko Tadano. So she's worked on Sailor Moon before, and she has amazing quality. She's probably had all these years to keep animating, and then we get a very watered down, cheap looking, not very fluid animation. So it's very disappointing because we know she's capable of a lot more. So this means that Toei is being cheap. Is what I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's also interesting. I mean, they went with the same director from season 3, and everybody, I mean, from most of the feedback was that season 3 was a vast improvement over season 1 and season 2.
That's opinions.
So
Which
combining,
wasn't hard to do, though.
yeah, combining a great director with a great character designer, you'd think that this movie had everything it needs to be awesome.
Yeah, and a movie budget. I mean, it's supposed to be a movie. We should be getting jaw-dropping animation.
Yeah, we should be getting Evangelion. We should be getting Your Name quality.
Yes.
And it's not happening.
Right. I mean, they've been working on this for three years, if not more. There's no reason that the quality should be terrible. It should be immaculate.
Right. And I mean, we're all super big fans, and we don't want to hate on this movie at all. We want to support it 1,000%. But we want Sailor Moon to get the quality of animation that she deserves, and she's not getting it. And I'm glad that fans are speaking out, because I feel like during the first couple seasons of Sailor Moon Crystal, it was kind of taboo to talk about the poor animation during that time, because, we've been without Sailor Moon for so long, and then we finally got something Sailor Moon. We're all like, no, we need to support this. We need to, cheer it on and everything. And then...
Which we did at the time.
We did at the time. That's the thing. Even though a lot of us, in the back of our minds, were like, this isn't good. They have really messed up a lot, and it's not in a good way.
We don't want how they did with Sailor Moon Crystal 1 and 2. We don't want them to go back and fix it after it aired.
Right.
We want top quality right then and there. There's no reason for any of this going back and forth.
You know what they should do? They need to do like Sonic did. Listen to the fans. We did not like the design. They went back, started over, and we got the cutest Sonic movie ever.
Yes, exactly.
That's what they definitely should do. Woo woo! You know what, though? Okay, I do want to mention real quick, I did see somebody comment on one of my YouTube videos on my channel that they say that they know that we're going to support it no matter what. So they're just going to be lazy and do whatever because they know that Sailor Moon fans are going to be present and are going to go watch it and are going to support it. So that just kind of made me think a little bit. Yeah, I just kind of thought about that because they're right. I am still going to go see it. I love Sailor Moon. I want to support her, and I will go see it no matter the quality of animation.
You're right.
They could put out stick figures, and I'd go watch it. I know that sounds terrible, but I'd watch it just to see what happens. I'd probably complain after seeing the stick figures.
Yes.
But, I mean... yeah.
Yes. We're definitely going to support it for sure. We've been waiting for this. And
yeah, but fans are definitely torn this time around, and I am glad to see a lot of us are speaking out and hopefully trying to encourage change within Toei.
Mm-hmm. Now, I do love the merch that is being aligned with this. The merch is looking amazing for the...
Preach it, sister, preach it.
Yes. Now, can the movie be that good?
Right? Can the movie be Banpresto good?
I have a question about the movie, you guys. What are your thoughts on the fact that Evangelion is giving us new storylines and Sailor Moon is rehashing the same thing we saw in the manga in the 90s anime? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Do you wish this would have been an original story, or do you wish, like, or even the idea of using the old Famicom game, Super Famicom game, of another story? We haven't seen that iteration at all outside of the game.
I think that a lot of it has to do with the control over the brand now versus what it was back in the 90s. I think in the 90s, Naoko didn't have as much control of the brand. So there was a lot of situations where, different projects came out that I don't think she would sign off on had it been done today,
Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess the first 90s anime was all about selling merch, about it was more common to have long-running series. So a 200 series isn't really that long in anime terms. So they had a bunch of fillers in there just to give Naoko the time to develop her story. But now with Crystal, I guess they wanted to, quote, correct that mistake, unquote, because they wanted to clean the story, right? Make it streamlined, more accurate, closer to the manga. But with that, we lost a lot of the character development.
Yeah, yep.
I would have been okay if they trailed off just, for the character development. But I do like that they are following the manga a lot more because it is kind of a whole different storyline. So I'm totally fine with them, focusing on Sailor Moon from the original manga. That's totally fine with me. But yeah, I think I agree with you guys. It seemed very short. You didn't really get to love the characters like you did in the 90s anime.
Right.
And that was problematic.
For sure.
It's definitely a catch-22 because in the original, we saw their relationships grow and love one another. And in Crystal, it was just like next.
Mm-hmm.
And we never saw that connection grow and what made them so close as friends. It was just like, okay. And they fly in the manga, in the Crystal, so.
You know what, though? I think what also helped the manga, because in the manga, I do kind of feel like you get a sense of their relationships with each other because they had those little mini stories. And then Naoko drew those little cute kind of not canon, well, I guess it was canon, but it wasn't in the actual, story, little images of, the girls hanging out and doing cute things together. So I feel like that kind of helped with character development within the manga, but they totally skipped out on it on Crystal. And plus, with all the mistakes they made in the animation, it just, you know where I'm going with this.
It was a bunch of Mantis girls who were all of a sudden friends after they met just one episode before.
Did you say Mantis girls?
Mantis girls. Sailor Mantis.
What?
And they were
What
willing
is
to
Sailor
sacrifice
Mantis?
for each other just after one meeting.
Exactly. Oh, and Mantis means they had big, like, giant praying mantis eyes.
That's what I was thinking you were saying. Are you like the bug? Are you calling them mantises?
The bug.
Like, sure.
The bug.
No, the sailor bugs.
All right, let's switch gears. Let's talk a little bit about the musical. So with the musical, we also were supposed to get one last year and never got any news on it. As it was getting towards the end of the year, they announced that it was going to get pushed back to the following year.
Right.
So what are you guys' thoughts? They've announced that we're going to be getting the story of Princess Kaguya, the lover of Princess Kaguya.
Oh my god,
so
okay.
what do you guys think about that?
I just want to, okay, I'm gonna go first because I'm just really excited about this topic. We're finally getting something new. Like, I was scared we were gonna rehash the musicals that we just saw, which were perfection. Oh my God, like, we all saw it in person. It was so beautiful. It was literally like they took it from the 90s anime, ripped it out of the screen, and they put them on stage. It was so good. So I didn't know where we were going with this, and the fact that they're doing Kaguya, which hasn't really been done. My God, I'm so excited. I mean, I'm like, sad that we're having like a pandemic or whatever, but like, we have to wait again.
We do.
Yeah, because I feel like they're not even going to be able to, get together and rehearse and
Right.
actually plan it out because of this. So I don't think we're going to see one this year.
Yeah, and it was scheduled for the summer, so that's not going to happen because we usually
Not
know
gonna
about
happen now.
5 months before it actually happens. We at least have promotional images. We have something to go off of, but
Yeah.
I mean, August is not far away.
I want to ask a question. What are your guys like thoughts on like seeing Luna, like, human Luna on the stage?
Girl, you
Ready
know
to cry,
I'm
have some
excited.
tissues handy.
I can't wait. I know that with the Nogizaka musicals, they kind of pioneered this puppet Luna, and I thought it worked really well. I thought
Yes.
That was a cool one.
Yeah, I thought they did a really great job, so I'm hoping that they continue with the puppet Luna as
Yes.
opposed to any other, I think it could maybe get a little bit wonky if they were having to do some kind of animation. So I think the puppet works well, and then taking it into a human form I think is going to be awesome.
Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see...
That'll translate really well.
Yeah, I don't want to see Luna in a costume. I want to see the puppet because that makes way more sense.
I mean, even if we shift over to like, Broadway musicals, like we've seen like, The Lion King, where it's like a person with kind of like set around them. And then we've seen like people in full costume. I definitely think that Puppet Luna works best,
Yes.
especially in stage musicals, because The Little Mermaid, if you saw Sebastian and Flounder, it was like, ooh. So
You saw the costumes for Luna in the old musicals, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Her and Artemis, my.
No, we don't want to do that. Puppet Luna all the way.
Yeah, I mean, what we have to remember though is that the revival musicals. Okay, so the first musicals from the '90s were made by Bandai, right? And they produced the shows, they made the costumes, everything. For the 2010s musicals, there's this new company called Nelke. We don't know how to pronounce it, but I think it's Nelke.
We say Nelky, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. And they did like the whole saga on stage, like from the very beginning to the very last, and they were marvelous. But they had absolutely no cats in any of these
I
musicals.
know, that was
Like
sad.
Luna and Artemis and Diana, yeah, they unexistent. So the musicals, not the Nogizaka musicals, were made by a different company, presumably the company who works with the idols from Nogizaka 96. How many? No, 46. Sorry.
46, yeah.
Yeah. So these are three different companies, but the ones who came out with Puppet Luna are the ones from Nogizaka. So I don't know if it's okay for Nelke to get Nogizaka's ideas and do a Puppet Luna. I don't know how that would work. Like, maybe that's their idea and they don't want to mess with it, so they have to come up with their own concept, or since it's the same franchise, they can just share ideas and do this and that. And because also they sorry, I'm rambling on here, but
Well, no, I was trying to touch on topic while we're still on it, because you were talking about the Nelke Mew. Like, we saw Pegasus and how they handled that. So I would, like, the tiger that they did in the S musical was really cool, Under the Curtain. Remember that? Like how,
Mhm.
like, the Pegasus was another human like costume. So I definitely think Nogizaka nailed it with the cute little puppety marionette Luna. Like,
No, for sure. That's the best Luna rendition we could have gotten. But I just don't know if Nelke is going to be able to use that, because presumably they're doing the Kaguya musical, right?
but can you like copyright the fact that it was like, oh, you can't use a puppet or marionette because we did it?
No idea.
And the Sailor Moon franchise likes to cut corners. I bet you they're going to be like, we're going to use this extraordinary puppet that we made for another musical. We're going to make it work.
Nelke produced the Shining Moon show as well. And in the Shining Moon show, they used the voice of Luna that was in the Nogizaka musical.
Oh.
So there has been some crossover, which has already happened. So that's,
that's
something
good.
that,
Good.
I mean, that's something that I was super excited to hear the voice of Luna that they used when I was watching the Shining Moon show.
Yeah, let's make note out there, everyone, that Luke has been fortunate enough to go see it out in Azabujuban while it was still open before this whole COVID thing, kind of temporarily closed it. So he's one of the lucky ones who've seen it.
So bummed out about kind of what's going on with that. But yeah, I mean, there has been some crossover. And I think, I mean, if you looked on the 2.5 Dimensional Association's website, they advertise both the Nelke and Nogizaka side by side. So I think that there's still really tight collaboration, even if they're maybe not produced by the same exact people. I think that they work really closely. Hopefully.
Hopefully, for sure.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess if we're going to talk a little bit about Shining Moon, I thought that we could maybe talk about what just recently got announced, which was that Shining Moon,
go for it.
Shining Moon Tokyo, which for those of you that don't know, since August, there has been a Sailor Moon restaurant, which opened up in Azabujuban, and it does a daily show. In fact, it does a couple different shows throughout the day, which you get a meal, and then up on the stage, you've got Sailor Moon actresses dancing. It's really cool. So, what was just announced is that show has been basically closed indefinitely, which it sounds scary, but basically what had happened is in February, they had to close due to COVID-19, and they had kept on putting dates on the calendar of when it was scheduled to reopen. They have since now said that due to the government action that happened in April, that there was a state of emergency issued in Tokyo, and that the restaurant would not be reopening until further notice. Now they've changed that to closed indefinitely. So kind of harsh words. It sounds a little bit scary. Not really sure what that means, but we have seen a lot of goodbye messages posted on Twitter from the cast.
Yeah.
So it feels like it's done.
I really hope not, because we wanted to see it.
I'm just hoping with those goodbye messages, it just means like they're going to do a new cast. Like it's just going to keep like recycling new girls. I'm hoping the place is not done for.
Yeah, that's possible because, they can't expect them to put their life on hold
Yeah.
while everything is closed. I mean, they might get hired for something else in the meantime, and Shining Moon is still trying to figure out their schedule.
The cool thing about Shining Moon to me, I mean, this might be a little sidetrack, is with it being like a little show that's always changed, like, they could change it up. Like they could, like for 1 month, they could do the Sailor V storyline, stage line, and then they could do, that's what I really loved about Shining Moon was all the possibilities that could and can happen. Hopefully, if it does reopen.
Yeah, it did have potential, and I know Luke is the one who have seen it in person, but Luke, even before all this COVID-19 stuff even happened, didn't you say that there was a lot of empty seats?
That's true. Yeah. When I went in October. I saw the show twice.
Yeah.
And when I was watching it, half of the theater was empty. So there was kind of this feeling that it did kind of feel like the space was too big for what was going on in there.
Well, also, I mean, who wants to return to a restaurant to see the same show over and over again? That's why they should have intervals of changing it out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it could change at will, like on the website. Like, this week we're doing this week we're doing that.
Yeah.
Is that too much to ask?
They do like special events
They
for
do?
the birthdays of the Senshi. They do.
They do.
Yeah, the special events, though, were really you would get a postcard with an image that wasn't one of the standard images. It was like, not lenticular, but it was like a foil card, kind of.
Right.
But there, aside from that, just to give you a little bit of reference, when I was there, they had maybe 3 or 4 like floor staff working, so that worked at the restaurant that were going around and like doing host duties, checking you in, doing the restaurant work. And then you have 2 full casts, you have ensemble dancers, and this is a location that is prime real estate in Azabujuban. literally right next to Azabujuban Station. So I can only imagine what this costs to put on. And the fact that they've been closed since the end of February, no money coming in whatsoever. All those employees, I mean, it doesn't look good. The writing is on the wall as far as I'm concerned. But it's really sad that that it's kind of taken this turn of events.
Yeah, it is really sad.
Yeah, and I feel like they opened it because they wanted to have all these people coming in from the Olympics for the 2020 Olympics. Mm-hmm. So I feel like they opened it specifically for the tourists coming in then, and then they would figure it out. But I don't know. It like you guys said, it just looks very not promising.
Yeah.
Even before the venue was used for Shining Moon, the venue was basically the same type of thing, but it was putting on shows that were like a celebrity impersonation style show. So people would come in and they'd watch like performers doing celebrity impersonation. Theater, restaurant, everything was set up basically the exact same. So it didn't look like they put a whole lot of work into Sailor Moonizing the venue, other than the marquees, and then they put Sailor Moon decorations all around. But the actual bones of the building, I don't think they changed a whole lot. So I'm not sure, how long they were leasing this building or any details like that. But I don't know. The previous show that was there, I don't think performed too well. So we'll see. Maybe it's a location thing. Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
That could be. I mean, like Lux has said, running the same show over and over and over, people aren't going to be drawn to that. They need to reinvent it more often to be able to get the crowd coming. Because when you do the regular musicals, it's only for, a couple weeks? And they're packed every time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Super packed. Y'all seen the women's line? Super packed.
Oh, yes, we have. Oh, my God. Ooh, that's pretty bad. Rip that theater.
Oh, yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Let's hope the next theater has way better seats, because after flying for 14 hours and then going directly to sit on one of those like uncomfortable stadium chairs, ouch.
Oh, that booty.
Yes.
And I don't have the cushioning that ＯCHI has back there. So.
Ooh, yes. We gotta have some junk in the trunk.
Speaking of OCHI, let's transition to talk about Collector's Corner. Let's have a little bit of discussion about some of the new toys that have hit the market or are coming soon.
Yeah, and I guess I'll just kind of do a recap of just this past last week, which was April 24th to May 1st. And we didn't really see anything super duper interesting, except I would say the Q-Pot Sailor Moon announcement was the biggest thing. And this is going to be Q-Pot's 6th collaboration with Sailor Moon. And it does seem to be Sailor Moon Eternal based this time, based on the silhouettes that we see of the image that they provided on the Sailor Moon official website. And I know that the girls and I really, really like Q-Pot. We finally got to go to one for the first time last year. And yeah, we're just expecting some good things from that. They are, I don't know if anybody out there is not familiar with Q-Pot. Basically, they're a fashion brand that makes accessories that are based off of sweets. And they're like godly accessories. I mean, they're like these big, gigantic, melty strawberries that you can wear around your neck and pin in your hair and stuff. But they do really good Sailor Moon collaborations. And I didn't know if the girls wanted to say anything about that, what they expect with this.
Oh, it's hard to say. I bet they'll have the kaleidoscope.
Ooh.
Isn't that what they said that they're going to have? They mentioned it.
Yep, it's actually going to be called Sugar Kaleido Dreams is what they're calling this whole collab, yeah.
Because they haven't showed us any images except for the promo image, but no accessories have been shown yet. But they've just said a couple things. So I'm definitely excited for the kaleidoscope, for sure. Excited to see what they come up with.
And they didn't say anything about the cafe at all, so that's probably not even going to happen because of COVID.
I don't think the cafe is going to open, to be honest, because
They actually did confirm that. They did confirm. I later went and checked on the website, and it did say that this collaboration is accessories only.
Okay.
So
Accessories
obviously
only.
it's too soon. It's too soon. We have no idea how this situation is going to pan out. So they're just going to do jewelry this time. It's probably going to be online.
Yeah.
I don't think they're even going to open the store.
That's really sad because the timing is bad, because this would have been a wonderful collab to have, like, a full menu at the Q-Pot Cafe, and it would have been beautiful because you know how they always like go all out and decorate their whole cafe Sailor Moon themed. Mm-hmm.
The Q-Pot collaboration is mostly a cafe, and then right next to the cafe they have a store. So you can either just go in and buy stuff, or you have to make a reservation beforehand, and then you get to eat some cute foods. But, well, we went last year, and that was so much fun, and it's very cute, and it's actually pretty good.
It's definitely worth it.
How was the food?
Really good, actually.
I was going to ask, how does it compare to other cafes you've been to, the food-wise?
Much better.
Higher quality for
Yeah.
sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'd say it's definitely better.
We've been lucky enough to go to like 3 or 4 cafes. We went to Anion. We went to, what's the Hello Kitty one?
My Melody.
My Melody, yeah.
My Melody one.
Yeah, we went to the My Melody one. We went to the one in Omotesando, which was something box.
Omotesando, yeah.
Omotesando box, something like that. That was just the Sailor
I think
Moon
that's
Cafe.
exactly it. Omotesando box. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to, I went to the Sun Moon Cafe or whatever that they did for the exhibit back in 2016.
Oh, right.
That had like the little burger, the pink burger, and they had adult drinks, which was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
But it was tied into that soda. It was tied into that soda they were promoting at the time. It was like half energy drink, half cola or whatever.
Oh, the BB Sparkling?
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, sparkling BB.
Yeah, it was
I love
interesting.
that
Keep
one.
going.
Yeah. I went to the Girls' Night Out Cafe that was in October. And
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it was nice.
And Roppongi, right?
It was nice, but most of the merch was sold out from the moment I got there. And I
Scalpers.
wasn't there towards the end of the run, so that was kind of a surprise. And food quality was questionable. But, yeah.
So I do think that Q-Pot has the best food, but it's still a lot of sweets, just like small dishes, not really a good restaurant where you would just go to have the good food, but it's still okay.
Oh yeah, you can't eat there for sure, but man, I love sweets, and that little cake was delicious.
You know who actually had good food was Namja Town.
Oh, Nemanja Town.
Their little gyozas. Yes, because we could get gyoza if we wanted, or we could get a gyoza taco, and then at the end was like a little fruit what was it, like the soda parfait?
Yeah,
or-
Namja Town was fun because it was like food stalls and you could choose what you got to eat, but then they had those like promo cards that you got. It was fun.
It was
That
fun.
was
Yeah,
so
that
much
one
fun.
was bad.
I think I was a little hungover that when I went, so I didn't get to like really be in the full moment.
Oh. I liked how interactive it was. You know, you got to go to whatever booth, get your card, and you did know which booth had what card you wanted. So that was really cool.
It was kind of a maze.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I got lost in there.
was
It
a
looked
maze,
way
definitely.
bigger inside than it did on the outside.
Yeah, it's a little scavenger hunt, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I miss Japan. I miss you guys.
know.
I miss you guys.
We're definitely
Oh,
going
just
down
talking
memory
about
lane.
talk about all those memories. Yeah, we're talking about all the times we've had really good fun together in Japan and going to all these Sailor Moon events, and oh, they're so fun. Oh, to go back.
Right? And it just feels like 2020's been canceled and like,
Well, it has.
well, I know, pretty much. I mean, we still have high hopes for September, but the outlook does not look good.
Oh, I'm a little bit nervous about that.
Okay, at the very least, would you guys want the movie to be just released via some sort of streaming service?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, instead of just like a theatrical release postponed?
My feelings are kind of like if they were to open up travel back to Japan, I would want to see it in Japan when it first comes out in a theater in Japan, because I think that's where I'm going to get the most kind of an impact. But if that's not an option, then streaming I would be totally happy with. Like, I would love to see it streamed.
Well, would you rather it be postponed or streamed?
Streamed.
I would rather it be streamed than postponed.
And I'm going to throw it out there for if there are any companies listening, I would totally pay for a subscription to watch it, like I did with DCU to watch Titans, and I will do that again when the new season comes out. So if that's what's going to happen, y'all, totally carry it, totally stream it, because we will pay.
Yeah?
We sure will.
Especially
At least
for
I will,
Sailor
because it
Moon.
got crickets. It was crickets, so no one person in this podcast definitely will pay.
Yeah, I would overpay for it if they released it on streaming and they charged like a ridiculous amount for it. I would still probably buy it.
And even if it's really terrible, we're all still going to pay for it.
A couple weeks ago, Universal put out Trolls 2 on demand, and it was a huge release. But like Luke was saying, he would pay double for Moon, and the rental price was $20, and that's not to own. That was just to rent. So I would definitely pay $25 to watch the Sailor Moon movie at home.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think this whole thing is going to change how we go to movies anyway now. So, yeah, streaming is probably the most likely bet at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sen, you had mentioned Ava. Did they announce that they were postponing it, but they haven't announced any dates for when it was postponed to, or do you know?
Postponed indefinitely. So they're also trying to figure this situation out. And I actually think that they're going to do that with the Sailor Moon movie. Because as much as we do want it released as streaming in streaming format, I think they're going to get the biggest bang out of their buck if they do it in theaters. Like, they need that money of it being in theaters. So I think they're going to postpone it until they can do it the right way or do it the traditional way, whatever. But
But what would you want?
Oh, I personally would love to see it in theaters. I'm a huge.
Oh my
I'm
God,
sorry.
can you imagine?
I'm a huge filmophile, whatever they call it. But I love to watch movies at the theater.
Cinephile.
Like the cinephile. Thank you. So I love the whole experience of seeing the posters outside, going in to get my popcorn. If they have special cups and stuff like that releasing.
Oh, keep going, girl, keep going.
Talk about that merch. They're going to need to add on some merch.
I would love that.
Can you hear the joy in Sen's voice? It's such an experience. Like,
It
yes,
is.
keep
It's an
going,
experience.
girl.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you
That's
get
the
to have
thing.
your
So
candy, your popcorn. Sorry, y'all.
Popcorn.
So that's what I would want. I would be actually okay if they postpone it to whenever they can release it in theaters.
Same.
Because of the experience. Because if I'm just going to sit and watch it at home, I know I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be looking at my phone or getting up to the bathroom or what. It's just not the same thing. So
That is true.
And I mean, some things you have to see in theaters. Like, I'd rather see Wonder Woman in theaters as opposed to like, what was that big movie with Awkwafina, the one where her grandma's dying? The Farewell. Like, The Farewell, yeah, beautiful. It is beautiful in theaters, but that's something I could watch at home as opposed to like this big action-packed movie. Like, you gotta see, it's the experience.
I think you lose. Yeah, I think you lose a lot of oomph and stuff when it's at home versus the theater where you hear the boom and the and the and
All right. So conclusions. We don't know. We just don't know what's going to happen, and it's so uncertain with everything in general.
It really is.
Even all of the merch releases for Eternal are scheduled to come out in September.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what has me the most worried because
we can't even have things shipped right now from Japan. So
Yeah.
what's the future looking there?
no, and plus they can't release merch if you can't see the movie.
Exactly.
Because then it's full of spoilers and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, so what's going on in Japan right now? As of April 3rd, Japan has banned visitors from 70 countries. Now, that's not talking about nationality, so it's not based on, the passport, but it's based on whether you have been in those countries in the past 2 weeks.
Wow.
So there's a really long list of countries that can't go to Japan right now. So even if we wanted to go and see the movie, if it were happening while that ban is still taking place, we wouldn't be able to. Sin, I think, is the only one in a country right now that is not on that list. So we could all go visit Sin for 2 weeks. We could go visit Sin for 2 weeks, and then we could fly to Japan and watch the movie.
Come on down.
So what do you think?
Yeah, I don't want to be stuck in the little cardboard town.
cardboard.
Living in a cardboard town.
That's what they're
We
doing
would-
in the
we
Yeah,
airport
we've seen those
or airport.
photos. We've seen those photos like of the airports where people like are in cardboard cots and stuff. Like, that's scary. So
Yeah, because they're stuck there. Yeah, because they got Yep.
Yeah, they have to get tested. Yeah.
Yep, they do.
oh my God, have you seen those testing? Oh my goodness, the Q-tip up the nose.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Oh God, yes.
Oh gosh.
Mm.
Okay, the last merchandise that I wanted to talk about for Little Collector's Corner segment is the Sailor Moon Eternal Glitter and Glamours figure. And I did a little research on this Glitter and Glamours line, and basically this is Banpresto's largest female figure line, and this is Sailor Moon's first appearance in the line, so it's kind of a big deal because they've already had popular anime characters like Dragon Ball Z, some of the female characters in Dragon Ball Z, and One Piece. So Sailor Moon's joining the lineup, and she looks freaking amazing. And she comes in 2 types. She comes in what they call a normal color and a type B, which is a cute pastel color. But a lot of fans were really, really hype once they dropped this image.
So hype.
I think it's beautiful.
Very excited for this one for sure. And I really hope they do all the girls, to be honest.
Ooh.
I mean, if we only get her, fine, but
How much do they run?
she's a crane prize. So.
Yeah, in Japan, she's made for the crane game market, but when they come over to the international market, they do have a retail price, and they haven't released it yet, so I'm not sure. I think they run around $24.99 to $29.99, but don't quote me on that. We're not sure yet.
Okay.
They're quite affordable in general, and
Yes.
especially for a figure this size. I'm expecting to pay around $35 to $40 actually, but I don't mind if it looks high quality.
Don't let Entertainment Earth hear you say that.
Oh shit! I guess it depends on the packaging and stuff. I don't know.
Well, it's going to be a blind box, or not a blind box, but a crane box. So it's going to be the same as the other
like
girls.
UFO catcher?
Yes, exactly.
Yep, you can actually Google them right now. Like, if you Google Glitter and Glamours figure, you're going to get a lot of the, some of the female figures from Dragon Ball Z and One Piece. And they just come in, I mean, there's no window. It's just a complete cardboard box with an image of what's inside. And I do think, Tara, when you were saying that you want the other Guardians, I think they are going to, because this figure kind of reminds me of, remember the other girls' memory line that they did of kind of the same, unchibi, they weren't chibi, they were just their regular size, and they did all 10 Guardians.
Yeah.
So I think that they might.
Yep, I'm looking at those girls right now.
The thing that kind of throws me off about this is I don't understand this color variant that they've been doing. It does kind of feel like a money grab, like they want people to try to get both, because they're really not that different based on the pictures. I mean, you see slightly different blues and slightly different reds, but it's really not that different.
I think it's a stock image because the little Cuposket Disney ones, or however you say that, like they look totally different color-wise in person.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I think too. I think they are going to look a lot different because as I was doing my research into these figures and looking at them and saw some of the previous anime figures, they are completely different. Like some of the characters will have like a blue jacket on one variant, and then the other variant will be like a green jacket. So they do look a lot different. I think the Super Sailor Moon one is kind of a bad judge on the A and B types. So it'll be interesting to see them like once we get in-person photos. I'm leaning towards the type B. I think she looks a lot cuter that way, but we'll see.
And I'm going to get both.
Oh, I'm excited to see either way. They look beautiful.
They do.
They really do.
They look really good.
Like we mentioned, they've been doing a really good job with these releases from Sailor Moon Eternal. So I think they're just going to keep pushing them out until September, which is great because I feel like collectors here, have we not gotten something like really big, except for Jupiter though? We did get Jupiter Dolphy, but we haven't gotten like other huge releases for a while, right?
We've been doing a lot better. Like we got the Figure Arts minis and a lot of the Tamashii Nation stuff. So it's
but those are
better.
like small little figurines. Like we don't have like a big release, do we?
No.
No, I guess not. That's why it's so cool that Sailor Moon's finally appearing in this line, because this has been a long-running line for a while for Banpresto.
Oh, and it's so nice too. Wow.
Yeah. Yes,
Oh, that's
yes.
exciting.
It is exciting.
That's it for me on the collector's corner of the kind of the bigger merch announcements that I kind of wanted to recap over and talk to you guys about and get your opinions on it.
All right. Well, so that ends our first episode. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope that you had fun hanging out with the Silver Millennials, and we look forward to having you guys join us again soon. Does anybody have anything you guys want to share before we say goodbye?
So this was Sin. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram as Sailor Moon Obsession. On Twitter, though, I specifically focus on Japanese news and fun fan art and cosplay and all that good stuff. And then my Instagram is my personal collection. So, yeah, come join me and we can talk Sailor Moon all day long. Lux?
Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. This is our first episode. Thanks for listening to our trying to find our footing. We're still new at this. If you ever want to like check what's going on with me and stuff, you can check me out at Domino Coppola at Instagram. I'm kind of the recluse Scorpio here, so if I do post something, I'll be vague, like a Bjork music post or like what's going on in my town in Animal Crossing. And actually, if you are playing Animal Crossing, feel free to shoot me a message so we can be friends and hook each other up. And my Twitter is at LuxWas14, but be warned that mainly I do post about X-Men because that is also one of my other big obsessions. Go Jean Grey, she's the best. So that's about it for me. We'll jump on over to our little merch mommy, ＯCHI.
Hey guys, I'm ＯCHI. Thanks so much for tuning in. We've been wanting to do this for such a long time. I'm glad we finally got it together, and I hope it takes way in that we get, some people on this podcast as guests so we can talk to other Sailor Moon fans out there and maybe even some collectors. But I'm ＯCHI Wolf everywhere on social media, so just search OCHI Wolf, you'll find me. I'm also on YouTube as well. I do Sailor Moon YouTube reviews of the merch that I get, and also I keep everybody up to date on new Sailor Moon merchandise news in the USA and in Japan. And that's it for me. I'm gonna have TARA take over.
Hey, so not the best at this kind of stuff, but I really appreciate you guys listening in. I hope that we kept your interest sparked so you'll tune in to episode 2. Like ОCHI was saying, we're still learning about all this and trying to do our thing here. But you can follow me if you want. Twitter is at Bratzilla, Brat_Zilla. For Instagram, it is Sailor_Bratzilla. I try to keep up on some of the merch too. Not anywhere near like Queen ＯCHI does, but Twitter is a little, kind of hit and miss, but Instagram is my biggest one that I keep up to date with. Anyway, I am rambling as usual. Luke, take it away.
All right, well, that about wraps us up. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Once again, this is Luke. If you'd like to follow me on social media, you can't. I don't have social media. But we would love for you to join us on our Silver Millennials social media. We've got our links in the description, so please go ahead and give us a like. We want to hear from you soon. Thank you guys so much. Bye.
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 Thanks, y'all.